WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. Thank you for tuning to WVTC Radio Detroit and the Community Bell Show with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner, Edna Bell. Stay tuned for insightful information Detroiters will find valuable. Text a friend and tell them to watch with you for news you can use. And now, your host, Edna Bell.
So guess what? It's Monday afternoon at 4 o'clock. So it must be the Community Bell Show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monday, 4 o'clock. We are so happy to have all of you with us again. So we've got lots to talk about today. We got a lot of different subjects to talk about today. But first of all, I want to talk about an event that Miss Sandy and I went to on Friday. Was it Friday night? Friday night. The Detroit Auto Show. Now, for any of you who have not gone to the charity event for the Detroit Auto Show, you need to just put it on your list one time. Simply magnificent. And what made it so special is that usually or it used to be in the wintertime in January. And everybody was running and cold and all these fur coats and all that and snow. It was in September. It was a beautiful night in Detroit.
Yeah.
Lots of people, lots of new cars, and lots of all sorts of other new stuffs, like hovering. It looks almost like a helicopter, but it's a small version of a helicopter that may turn into be your car that will hover you to your new destination, to your home or to your work. Just
Yeah.
all sorts of innovative things. Sandy, wasn't it great?
I thought so too. And I mean, we're gonna have to get helipads
Yeah.
so that we can start driving around with these things. And we're flying like the Jetsons. I was wondering when it was coming, but we did see them down there. They were
We knew
human
it was
growth.
coming.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we knew it was
it's
coming.
here, everybody. So when you see all these little, small versions of a plane or helicopter flying through the air, taking people from building to building and landing on top, know that it's here. It
Yeah,
is here. You
it's
aren't
here.
just seeing things. It's not an unidentified flying object. It's
No,
real. It
yeah.
is real.
And so
So
they did have a lot of prototypes down there. And really, if you have never gone, it's really the who's who. It is. It's the who's who of Detroit
and
that's
of
down
Michigan,
there.
not just Detroit,
Yeah,
Michigan.
yeah,
Yes.
Michigan. I think the cars may
And
be
beyond
secondary.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my daughters call it the auto prom.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I can
Oh,
see that.
they're all
Yeah.
dressed up, and the nicest part about it is that we haven't really seen people all dressed up and ready to go out in 3 years. And so it was wonderful to see all these people you haven't seen in 3 years, all dressed up, and I mean had on all their finery. And when I tell you they had on some finery,
Yes, they
believe
did.
me,
Oh,
they had some finery.
they came ready.
Oh boy, they were ready. They were decked out from our NAACP president and his lovely wife, to the county executive and his lovely wife, to the county commissioner, Chair Alicia Bell and her handsome husband, and state senators and representatives, and the lieutenant governor and the governor, and you name it, they were
Business
there.
owners, all
Yes,
kinds of
business
people were
owners.
there. Yeah.
They were there, and it was
Executives.
just a wonderful evening. Everybody was just really, I think everybody felt the same way. Nice to see people again, to be around people, to be able to greet people. It was just it was a wonderful event. So I'm just happy we were able to attend. It was a great event. So look forward to all these new cars, or new, not shouldn't say cars, new modes of transportation.
Yeah, mobility. Yeah.
Yes, and even the Mustang does not look like the Mustang we used to know. It looks like something completely different. It's hard to tell that it what the Mustang was and is today. Completely different. So, if you get a chance, go down, take a look at it, and marvel at our city, how good it
Yes,
looks,
yes. And I was
how
very,
represented
very proud. Our
it was.
city looked wonderful. It
Yeah,
everyone was on their best behavior, and the city just looked
yes.
wonderful. It did. I was so proud.
The city looked great. And to see
Mhm.
all the traffic in downtown Detroit, I mean,
Yeah,
it was a great night. So so go down, take a look, and if you don't want to go to uh, Huntington Place, go over to Hart Plaza. There's
yeah.
some stuff going on at Hart Plaza also. Go to Freedom Plaza. There's some stuff going on there. Go to Campus Marches. There's stuff going. There's stuff everywhere.
And you
Detroit is.
used to be able to get like free tickets from your dealership and all of that. But now that
Mhm.
people are not buying their cars through the dealership,
Yeah,
I guess they have to pay for those tickets. So there goes that perk. And I'm
unfortunately.
just talking just a regular auto show ticket.
Regular. Yes, yes,
Mhm.
yeah. But it's quite something to see.
It
I'm
is.
just
And
pleased
then they
that
had
we
the
were able
tracks
to do
in
that.
there. Jeep and Ford
Yes,
had tracks, and I mean that you heard the tires squealing, and All of that.
Yeah, those big trucks were coming down, and you think, oh, are they going to be able to stop it? And they stop on a dime.
But you say, come on, girl, we need to move.
Just in case they don't stop, we need to get out of the way.
Right,
Yes,
right.
yes, and some of the people we saw. For those of you who don't know the fashion industry as well, SETI is a designer, a local designer from Detroit. Started right here, um, over Nikki's Pizza Place. Had a place up apartment up there where he designed. SETI is now an international designer. He's all over the world and all over the globe, and he was there, and it was so good to see him. He's been a friend for well over 20 years, and it was so good to see SETI
And he
there.
was there
Uh,
in high fashion.
yes, he was. He was
Yeah,
there
he
in
was there
high
in high
fashion.
fashion. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes. SETI was one. SETI made my outfit for my daughter's son's wedding, and he just designed something and made it, and before I knew it, there it was. And it's a wonderful outfit. But SETI is wonderful. He's going to be coming back to Detroit soon to do some new things. So look forward to hearing from SETI what he's going to be doing.
Right. And we're
Sabrina
gonna have
Jackson.
him on our show.
Yes, SETI will be on the show, so you'll get a chance to see and talk to SETI and ask SETI questions about his design studios and where he's been and what he's done and what's coming. So look forward to seeing SETI. He's going to be on the show. Sabrina Jackson, another one who was there. And many of you know Sabrina from Channel 2. She's on every Monday on Channel 2. Sabrina was there. She also does some fashion. She has a design studio. So Sabrina was there doing some wonderful things. And speaking of Sabrina, she is going to be talking about mental health in a symposium put on by the Detroit Public School System on the
Yes.
27th of September at Martin Luther King Junior High School.
And the principal was
Please,
there as well.
yes, please
Yeah.
come. It's so important. She's going to talk about mental health and how the pandemic and everything that has gone on has impacted our students. And so, parents, please come out and hear Sabrina Jackson, Dr. Sabrina Jackson, talk about how we need to help our children, but also how we need to work with the staff and the teachers and the administrators to be able to help our children. Don't go up there screaming at teachers and administrators. That's not the way you do this. Work with them, because it takes all of us to take care of these babies. And boy, there's some issues that our children have. Sabrina Jackson's going to be there to talk about those on the 27th of December, Martin Luther King Junior High School. It's 5:30 in the evening. Be there. You're going to have some great information, just some great information. Let me introduce our guest for the day, though, Mr. Dwight Harris. Dwight, are you there?
I'm there, Ma. I'm here.
Hello.
Hello.
There he is, that
Hello,
handsome young man. Hello, Dwight. How are you?
I'm fine, Ma.
You're on mute. Unmute yourself.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me see.
There
No,
you
we-
are. I can
we
hear you
hear you.
now.
We hear you.
Okay, good.
Okay. Hey, Dwight,
So I
how's
heard
everything
you
going?
Everything is fine. I'm glad to be on the show to talk about Detroit, how fantastic Detroit, how fantastic it is, and how fantastic it would be, with all the renovations, all the demolition, all the developments that's going on in Detroit. Not only that, all the events and the programming that's being involved in Detroit to cause Detroiters to want to live in Detroit. And so
There we go. Absolutely.
the quality of living of Detroit is going up no matter how things may seem. There is quality, there is reason to live in Detroit. And it's incumbent upon people to invest in Detroit. And one of those investments today would be go to the auto show, the national auto show downtown, and to see all the engineering, the engineering of people of Detroit to be able to put that together for Detroiters.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes. Yes. So tell us about what's going on with you now, and what are you doing with our returning citizens? Because I think what's going on in the auto industry is going to be good for all of our citizens, and especially including our returning citizens, because they can now go to the training center to get skills that are going to be needed for the auto industry and all the other industries that are around the area.
Yes, I believe as a returning citizen, I've been home for going on 11 years now. I used to believe that it would take by 5 to 10 years to actually adjust after going through prison after 25 years, 20, 30, 40. Some guys did like 50 years in prison.
Hmm.
This is the first time ever in our in this society that we've seen people be put away for long periods of time and then come home. One of the things that I'm learning is that mental health plays a big part in our adjustment once we come home. I thought that it would take me 5 years to adjust, to 10 years to be normal. When I say normal, to be able to get up in the morning, make a decision, an easy decision of what I want to eat, where I wanted to go, how to put variables in my time when my time was spent leisurely for the last 25 years. What I realized is that to be able to go into a home and to normalize with people that have never been in this society, which we call prison. We once we go in prison, we take on the this armor guard that we keep on all the way through our time, and depends on how we respond to this trauma going on inside of us is how our adjustment is. So when I look at the people that's coming home after I've been home 2 years, I see there's a cycle there of this 3, 6, 9 year period of actually uh, maturing into this society to be normal. One of the things that I'm seeing that's missing is the mental health component. A lot of us can read, we smart, we intelligent, but we don't understand the integration, how to come home, how to be in a household with the mother, how to be in a household with the daughter, how not to be so dogmatic about our ideologies and thoughts about things. This is how we dealt with each other in prison. So people will not just voluntarily say they're having problems at home or they're having problems in their relationships, but this is prevalent among people that's coming home from prison because there's a big divide between the socialization that we had for the last 20 or 30 years in prison versus the socialization of people out here in society, where we didn't put up with nonsense or emotional temper tantrums in prison. We just didn't see that among a bunch of men that grew up as boys, acting real tough and strong, to now having to come down into to level ourselves to mainstream. We was on some other stream, man.
Yeah.
But to level ourselves with mainstream is a mental health issue. And it's a
Yes.
barrier for us. It's a big barrier for us.
Well, that is so, it's so important that you find a way to get to wrap your mind around something new, because this being out in the world is new for those coming out. So
Yeah.
much has changed in terms of technology and the surroundings. All of it's changed, and just to get adjusted to using the cell phones and the laptops, and we no longer have pay phones that you can go to. It's just a different surrounding, and helping people get adjusted to that is
And
is
so
is difficult.
another thing that I'm noticing is that during this election process, so I'm noticing that we are standing on a platform of diversity. Diversity is what got us where we at. It got us in a place
Hmm.
of opportunity. This opportunity, we've able to go to college and come back with skills to be able to directly have educational impact with engineering, how to actually use that education in our community to make it a better place to live, right? However,
Yes.
however, coming from prison, I'm not talking about diversity. I'm talking about inclusion, which meant that
Okay.
we made a decision that excluded us from this society. And so once we were excluded, then there were lessons we had to learn about being uh being human, not acting like animals around people and treating people the way they should be treated, or treating people the way you want to be treated, right?
Okay.
So we come home. This is the first time you've seen this many guys from prison home. I know it has. You've been working all your life with service, community service. And so when we stand, we supposed to stand inclusively,
Okay.
diverse, because of where we came from, which means that we must learn how to normalize ourselves to understand the politics. We
Yes.
fought, we fought a whole different fight, civil fight in prison. We had to file our own lawsuits and figure out how to have the people in prison treat us fairly. So there was so many lawsuits that were won based on fair treatment of individuals in prison. So that was the value of us then. But coming home, we must show that value as a whole, not separately. Over here, you over here, you over here. Just like the LGBTQ.
Mm-hmm.
They show solidarity in the ideology about, you're not going to treat me like this.
Uh-huh.
You're not going to exclude me because of my gender preferences or whatever my sexual preference, whatever my preference is. You can't do that. So they band together to show the value. You can't do it separately. Everybody was complaining about it separately, but it was never done. So in order
Exactly.
for us as returning citizens, and I tell everybody this, I'm telling the whole world now, that if we don't get it together as a whole, we're not going to be able to help those behind us. We have
Exactly.
to do it together. During this election, we all supposed to join together and go the way we know we were supposed to go. We never did it. We did it in these little pies.
Exactly. And you
We
see
end
what
up,
happened.
we end up being somewhere we weren't supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
so that integrity, like, okay, we return to citizen. Livonia Perriman, I love her. She said, you're
Yes.
white. She said, I hear you, but you did it though. But I got compassion for a lot of the guys that can't make it though. It's a lot of guys that's not gonna make it that I know. It's a
And
lot of
why do
guys.
you think they won't make it?
So because of their crime, because of the substance of their crime, the elements in their crimes. He had to murder their home, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, the elements in it, it might be some real sinister stuff in there. Another thing, felony murder. That's an issue now, Ma, because they went to do a robbery. Somebody got killed. That wasn't the intent though. But because you were robbing and you killed somebody when you didn't have to, that makes it where you can't get out of prison. It's only a few
Okay.
guys that got out of prison on felony murder, right, Mom?
Oh,
But
oh
here
boy.
it go. So here it go. A guy walking down the street, he want to do a robbery. He just walking down the street. He didn't rob nobody. He just shot the guy, killed him. He get a chance to get out though, because he wasn't trying to rob him. So that's the difference in the variation of some of the guys that can't come home for the felony murders, as
Okay.
opposed to the guys that come home that killed somebody 20, 25 years ago that wasn't trying to commit a felony.
Okay. Got it.
Right?
Got it. Okay. Okay.
So they are addressing it. And I do want to say, Wayne County Prosecutor Office, I'm not gonna get on them. Like, so I understand that we don't have the funding for investigators. We need more funding for investigators,
Yep. Yep.
which is the basic what's necessary when it comes to a lot of juvenile lifers getting out. and a lot of those who are wrongfully convicted that's getting out.
Now, as they get out, are they directed to mental health services right away? Because that's what I think needs to happen. They need to immediately be shown to some mental health services to help them be able to adjust to this new life they're in. That's critical, because the new life is completely different than the old life. And they need some help getting adjusted to the new life. So there ought to be something that as soon as they get out, they can say to them, you go over here, and these people are going to help you begin to get adjusted to this new life. Do we have something like that?
So here you go. We got so many different programs that's reinvented. We keep reinventing the wheel. Like they'll say, I got it better. This organization say, I got this better and I could do this better. We need one. No, we don't, man. We need one program that facilitates everything that we need. One of the necessities that I believe is paramount is mental health. We get over so many humps, ma, of just figuring out what to do. We need a guide. I came home 10 years ago because I was so strict 3 years before I came home and how I was going to do it. I was able to do it. However, I went back to prison. Nobody know that. 10 years ago, when I was home for 5 months for domestic violence, because I couldn't handle being in the house with a woman that was independent and tell me what to do, right?
Okay.
That's so long ago. However, I had to go back and get it right. I never tell nobody that. I went back for 89 days. Learn how to respect people, learn how to come. And so I had to realize that I had to come down off of this penitentiary mentality. Even though I was working, even though I was doing what I was supposed to do, even though I respected everybody, I still had a nature of the penitentiary in me. So it don't be so much of what you say and what you do. We can be nice, but you can have a nature a spirit about you that remind me of a guy coming from the penitentiary.
Okay.
So these things we have to learn. We have to learn to normalize ourselves. Nobody's gonna follow what we say because we set up for 25 years and figured it out. Hey, I came up with so much stuff, man.
You had all sorts of answers.
Hey, I'm talking about we be in groups on the yard trying to figure out what we was gonna say, how we was gonna change it when we get out, and can't nobody tell us nothing. Funny.
And then you got out and you realized, wait a minute.
So I like talking about a lot of things, but one of the things I like to talk about is that the matriculation, the maturity into society, the things that we actually go through. For example, I can't sit down sometimes.
Okay.
I've been gone so long, I always want to go. I had to make myself, hey man, won't you just sit down for a minute, bro?
Okay.
But here's another thing. I wanted to do so much, and I had so much. Now I read so. I haven't talked about all the things I read. That's just a whole. That's like 3 or 4 hours of talking. I found out that I was a nerd. What I meant by that, I can read. I'm talking about it. Before I could never read, and people say, "Why you never tell them about how you read?" Like I can actually read. I'm talking about I can take a book.
Just sit there and read a book.
I can face them. Like people would see, I like to dance. But I could go into this little thing, be facing some books for a couple hours.
Okay.
but
on that point, I think some of the problem is some of these young men coming out cannot read.
Mom, true story. Let me tell you. I was one of them. However, a lot of the guys that come home that couldn't read, I know guys that actually tried. So what they do, they see people and they kind of imitate what they see and what they hear people say. So you will hear them talking, they'll say everything you heard other people say in context and everything.
Wow.
I'm talking about from I can't read to 10 years later, you smart enough because that's all we do every day in prison. We have
Okay.
nothing else to do but ask you, hey, what this mean, man? You
Oh, wow.
you know what this mean? What about this? Or we will see people having these dialogues about an issue, about something, almost to fighting about issues. Just growing up. That was our life in prison. Some of us do other
Wow.
things too. We go to jail, we go to prison, we stand up against, it's other things you do, but in our growth,
Uh-huh.
one of the things I've learned, because I'm able to say it and people listening, I want people to know that those children that you see do the worst crime be the ones that change. I hate
Okay.
this, that make the serious change. But I know on this end, we ain't tolerating it, right? But those the kids that actually change. Why you say that, Dwight? Because when I look at the guys in prison, these were the ones y'all were chasing us back in the 80s, right?
Okay.
We home now. I seen the change. I'm from the 80s. We all the guys that was so serious in the street made changes. The guys that was mediocre with the crimes and stuff, they never changed. This is
Mm,
my observation coming from
okay.
there. I'm not speaking from college. I'm speaking from straight up experience.
Well,
And so,
I want to go back to what you said though about reading. This is another observation that I think I have. I want you to tell me about it. That those people who go into prison and were not able to read, are not. They try to hide it,
yes,
that they can't read,
yes,
and then when they get out, they're not able to fill out an application, to do
yeah.
all those kinds of things to get them what they need to survive. And so we need to be able to find a way to help them learn how to read, learn how to do all the things they need to do for survival, and education, and not only for survival for them, but for their children, because many of those children are in our school systems now, and they are a reflection of possibly the fathers or the mothers who were in prison who couldn't read, and now they can't even help their children learn how to read.
Yes.
So we need to find some ways to help that whole family be able to grow and succeed.
And so I really believe like it's more mental. It's like, so, I work with a lot of guys come from prison, personal
Yes.
relationships and all that.
Mhm.
So I'm looking at this one where the guy been gone for a long time. He could play chess real good. He one of the best chess players. So his
Mhm.
engineering his thinking, he don't have a problem with that. He can think 4, 5, 6 moves ahead.
Mhm.
It's the integrating, understanding what's going on right here that'll make his mentals work to be able to connect to what we're saying we should do out here. Standardized living.
Yes.
It's hard to connect with standardized living when I'm having a mental issue. I don't know how to use the GPS. I don't know how to go downtown. I don't know how to get to
Yes.
7 Mile in Evergreen. I'm afraid to
Yes. And I
use the
can't read
GPS
it, and I can't read it on the buses because I can't read, and I can't read the signs. Yeah. So,
thing. Before I came home, guess what everybody say? Man, when I come home, I'm gonna go get SSI. I'm gonna get on. I ain't gonna try to work. I've been gone too long. I'm gonna get on. I said, man, you got to be. I'm not going to tell nobody to work and give me $700 a month that my value stays at 700 with $200 of food stamps. Most
no.
guys coming from prison because we were gone so long. A lot of guys feel like it only makes sense because I don't think I'll be able to get a job. I never
Really?
thought I can get a job. You hear me telling you that? I
No.
didn't think I never worked in my life. I've never worked in my life, man. You hear me? I've never had a job in my life. Never. I
Never.
never, I never had a job in my life until I was 43 years old. Right?
Wow.
You, I, I, I didn't think I just knew I was supposed to go get a job. They said when you get out, I got to work. I can't do the stuff I used to do. I'm not doing that, but I've never had a job.
Oh my.
But I followed the script, which was hard.
Yeah.
Get up in the morning. I went to Lance. I went to this program called Eagle Vision. Eagle Vision was connected with Michigan Works. From there, I learned how to do interviews. I learned how to tie my tie. I did an interview and got a job at Pecker Ministry in Lansing. From
Wow.
there, I went from there and I went to HBC. Got a job as best as a baby making $16 an hour. That's the day
Wow.
that I never thought I could get a job. I've
Oh my
never
God.
worked in my life. So I got a job making $16 an hour. I lost the job. Guess why? Coming late, I felt that I had two jobs. I felt that my employees were supposed to understand that I was trying to get to my other job. Can I leave early? Can I leave early? They kept saying, yeah, you can leave, you can leave. And when I left, one day the boss called me and said, don't come back.
There, see?
I know 10 years later, though, man, you can't do that. You got to be on time and all that.
That's right.
Nobody cares about, you know. But I didn't know that, though.
And again, that's it. There's some things that you just don't know that we need to find a way to help folks when they come out so that they don't have to go through what you did, what you went through.
Hey, and so that's what I'm here for. Like Icon 10. I can't do it the way I don't have the funding, but
Mhm.
I'll spend my last to take a brother out to eat. This how simple it is. They come home, make sure they get a phone, make sure I'm there. I make sure they get all the little drawers, socks, stuff like that.
Mhm.
So when they go home, one of the things we did in prison, we took pride in our hygiene. If you ever see guys come home from prison, we tight, we crisp
Yep.
because
Yep.
so a guy wants some drawers because he left his state drawers at prison. Nobody
His state drawers.
we left everything state back there. So when you come home, you need drawers, socks, all those things. You need a phone because you want to call somebody. I don't know who we call. We just want to call somebody.
Yes.
And we want to go get something to eat because we always want this, whatever this meal is. That's what I
Mhm.
do to the guys I know. We go eat, we do that. I bring some other guys, we have a conversation to connect them to the services. I make sure they get their IDs. I know some loops of how we can do this and get the IDs ASAP, get the birth certificates, social security cards, and get them a job. But what we missing is mental health.
Yes. The mental health
It,
piece is big.
it
You can
costs
get them
us.
a job, but the mental health wouldn't help them lose a job.
Mom, I'm telling you, it costs us. It costs people lives if we don't deal with the mental health. We can't keep saying because he come home and he did the time, he's straight. No,
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 no, no, no,
no,
no.
no, no, no. You can't. We can't. We looking at it. Look at the statistics then. Go there.
That's real.
A guy's coming home and the crimes that they do when they go back. Why do they go back though? No,
Because they're comfortable.
I'm not saying what they do and they got an excuse, but we do got to. Why do they go back? What caused him? He just did 20 years to kill somebody. What
Yeah.
caused him to do that? What caused him to do that? You know that we
Wow.
need to get in.
The mental health piece is big. So we really need to have lots of conversations about how we help them with the mental health piece. That's critical.
It's so the doctors, the psychologists has to know the demographic that we're trying to serve. All psychologists may not have worked in that field, in that demographic.
Yes. There you go. Everybody can't deal with it.
Right. And so Dr. Williams,
Uh-huh.
She one of the ones I've met that does that. We're going to her class and taking some guys to talk to the students. I'll let you know, Mom. Maybe you can
Oh, I
come out.
love that. Oh, I'd love to.
Just told me she wanted, she professor, psychology professor, and so I know she wanted the one Mike. He did 50 years, and she wanted him to come and talk. And I probably got a couple more guys.
He did 50 years, Dwight.
He he did 50. I wanted him to be on but he didn't know how to use the stuff to get on the show the last time.
50 years.
He did the show with me and Glenda Lewis. I don't know if you seen when I did that, the guy that did the thing with me, him.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
He did
50
50.
years.
He did
Oh
50.
my God. The world has changed so drastically in 50 years.
Mom, I'm looking at him. No, he don't not use GPS. He tried a couple times. He used it, but he can't keep doing it. Well, I don't know what that means, but I can't keep doing it. That's
Wow.
it. Not that he crazy. Like
No, it's like a child
yeah.
who doesn't know how to use a phone, how to walk, how to do any of the things. That's what it is, because he's coming into a world that's new.
Mom,
None of this stuff existed when he went in.
when I came home, I didn't even go outside. You hear me? I didn't go outside when my girlfriend went to work. I didn't want to go outside. I'm gonna tell you what I did. That was when I got home. I just had these. When it started snowing, I want to get up and just shovel the snow. I want to shovel people's snow. Like I just wanted to be free, right?
Uh-huh.
So I couldn't wait till the day that it snowed, man. It was about 2:00. I woke up. It was light. I said, "Is it morning?" She said, "No, it's snowing." I said, "Oh, it's snowing." I got up. It's about 3:00.
Oh
She
my.
said, "What you doing?" I said, "I'm finna go shovel the snow." You supposed to shovel the snow in the morning for people. Hey, I went down the street. I was shoveling the snow in front of these people's condos.
Oh my goodness.
And the light came on, right? So
Yeah.
I grabbed my phone. I say, why these lights keep coming on? I some of these people. She said, if you don't get your bumper down there, you gonna go to jail.
You didn't realize it was automatic lights that come on. Things
I
change
thought I was doing a good job. But I'm saying you have these grander ideas about what you want to do when you come home.
Yes.
And you gonna try it though.
Absolutely.
Like you ain't gonna try to do it.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Well, you know what, Dwight? I think what I'd like to do is have you have a regular Monday, whichever Monday you choose, so you can come on and talk about this once a month. As issues come up, come and just talk about it. You can bring your guys on. They can talk, and maybe it will help them just to be able to talk about it.
Yeah, but I got a few more things. So, Crunk Boxing. We need to support Crunk Boxing to bring Crunk boxing back to Detroit. It was the monument over there on Junction. We had a lot. So this past weekend we was at Crunk Boxing in Westland.
Okay.
The boxing was sent to Westland because they flooded out over on Chicago and St. Mary's where it was in the church.
Yep.
And so we still have a lot of the legendary boxers there as trainers. This past weekend, I did see our executive Warren Evans and them there. Putting a fundraiser for Crump. They had some exhibition youth boxing tournaments.
Okay.
And they're raising money, but the ideal is to get Crump back in Detroit.
Back to its old spot. Yes.
So I'm talking to the people on the board there. That's why I did the promo for Glenda at Crunk's.
Okay.
Because the idea was to have Crunk to see it, that they still exist. But on the back end, we want Crunk back into Detroit. So
Absolutely. That's what
I'm
it
not for
should
sure.
be.
I don't know if they want to build, but I think it make more sense. My thought, and also some people on the east side was that we get a school and we could put 4, 5 gym boxing rings in it and renovate the inside, state of the art, everything.
Okay.
I
Have
mean,
you
we
looked at buildings that might do the job?
not yet, but
Okay.
I told them that I will have this conversation here. And then I'm supposed to do some follow-ups with them. I know
Okay.
they reaching out to Warren Evans. I do know that.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so whatever we can do to get Crunk back into the city. It don't have to be downtown, but I believe I think one of them schools really though. I think that was a grand idea. We could put 4, 5 rings in there and build around.
Okay.
It could be a
Okay.
too. So
And I was talking to one of the school board members just last week about some of those vacant school buildings, and one of the problems with them is that they are so old that the infrastructure won't allow for modern technology.
wow.
That it would cost more to try and put internet and all the lighting and all the electrical and the plumbing and to update all of that. It would cost more money than it would if you just tear it down and build a new one, because those schools are so old. But I did talk to her about, because you had mentioned to me about wanting to look at some schools before, and I talked to her about it. So I'll see if I can arrange for us to just sit down and have you hear her hear your thoughts, and see if we can't, move on to see what we can do in terms of getting some location for Crunk to get back into the city.
So can I bring them? I wanted to bring them. Wolf Mueller, attorney and the president of the board. Just two
Oh,
people.
absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah,
love that, man.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So we'll talk and see if we can't get some dates together for you and the guys to come and talk to this particular school board member, because she is the one that happens to be over um, the children who are mental health problems, and so that would be a great
Okay.
spot, I think, to have that
Oh,
conversation.
yes, yes. And I want to say this before I go.
Okay.
I was I was working at Team Mental Health.
Uh-huh.
I love Team Mental Health. I love what Tony doing down at Team Mental Health. We're having problems with the quality on the inside. Uh, Team Mental Health uses the workers. I mean, the people that were coming through recovery to work there.
Okay.
The management within, especially down on Russell, uh, is not the treatment workers. And when I say that, I'm speaking in terms of increasing the workers because they were recovering addicts and because they need a job. At this juncture right now, I know 3 people that were terminated, me being one, but one girl was terminated last week for recipient rights say if you with a member, the member can't spend no money on you. But she was transporting the member and the member bought something from the store, which is totally out of pocket. This lady had came through recovery. She used to sleep on the bench over there on Mac and Mount Elliott. Lost her
Wow.
children and everything. Team Mental Health helped her get all the way up. She was working at Team Mental Health. She got fired Thursday, a couple of Thursdays ago. Sunday, she died, ran into a truck.
Oh no.
So here's the thing, man. No grieving process over at Russell. No grief, no. The director never came out to have no conversation with nobody. To come to it was be quiet, don't say nothing about it. But
Oh.
everybody was running around crying and doing this and that. So I just wanted to address that. With me, it was about this machine that we're supposed to put our finger on. The Chronos system is new. people are missing the punch ins for work, work, lunch, back from work, and when you leave.
Okay.
And this, they'll punish you and penalize you over there and terminating you for those reasons. So what I say to the people that's using that chrono system and using your finger, you have to have flexibility with that.
Yes.
I
But
understand.
something new, and especially because it's new, people have to get accustomed to how to use it.
And so I understand because people were stealing time saying they were going and doing this and that. That's a supervisor's job. I understand they spent a lot of money for the machine to do the work for the supervisor, man. Okay. All right. The
All
supervisor
right.
is supposed to make sure that if you checking in and out, that you in and out. You're not supposed to sit down at the chair and wait, let the machine say that you came in 30 minutes late or you forgot to punch in. The machines are not accurate. We're human. Sometimes we may miss the 5. People used to crowd around the machine, sit down, and forget 30 minutes that they were supposed to punch in.
Oh, wow.
So it's a new system, what I'm saying, but people are being penalized for it. So
Okay. Dwight, thank you so much for coming on the show. You're always full of good information. We're going to continue this conversation. We're going to do this once a month to talk about the kinds of things we need to do to help those returning citizens return to be good citizens, but not only for them, for their family and for their children. That's the real issue for me, is we need to find a way to help them, help their children, and help their families. That's so important. So until next time, everybody, it's a Community Bell Show. If you have a subject you want us to talk about, all you need to do is send us the information. Not everyone can be famous, said Dr. Martin Luther King, but everyone can be great, because greatness is determined by service. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. Have a great week. Your host, Edna Bell, the Community Bell Show. We'll see you next Monday. Thank you to Dwight Harris for coming on to talk to us about how we're going to be able to help returning citizens. Because when we help them, we're helping ourselves. We're helping our community. And more importantly, we want to be able to help the children. We want to be able to help the children succeed. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to Community Bell with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner Edna Bell. This broadcast was brought to you by WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. If you've enjoyed this broadcast, tell a friend to tune in. We'll see you next Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern to the Community Bell Show, right here on WVTC Radio Detroit. You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.